If you want to learn how to build products, or just simply observe someone building products and eventually failing with that, you hit the right channel. In today's video, I would like to share with you my approach on how to build products and what kind of basic structure I use to make sure that every project follows a certain red line that makes sure that it not only gets started, but also finished and hits the real world. My name is Christian and I'm a product developer. I'm working in product for more than a decade and I have worked for many fintech companies and tech companies in general across the globe for many years. At some point, I just got sick of working for other people and just asked myself, hey, how about doing stuff myself? And the interesting part is that this was the time where I really started to learn how to build products. And I'm not saying I've mastered it. I just want to share with you that there are many things that I was doing wrong across the road of building my own features, my own products, and that's what I want to share with you in this YouTube channel. And that brings me also to the very first part, which is every time I start a project, I start thinking about the problem statement and the problem that I want to fix. On the other hand, I know that there are many books and many philosophies about how to solve problems are out there, but I just also noticed that in the times of AI and automation where you can build very quickly products and rapid prototypes and stuff like that, sometimes it's totally fine to focus on the solution intent and to ship something to production and to the people and see whether they like it or not, because you can also end up in too much research and spending too much time on the problem statement, which sometimes is more a kind of state of paralysis, analysis, instead of getting things done. And talking about the problem statement, I at least ask myself, how can I make this as practical as possible? So therefore, I just want to start on how did I get started with this YouTube channel and what's my observation that motivated me to start, for example, recording this video. The very first part is what problem have I observed, obviously, and that is that I really like listening to other people when they talk about product management, project management, and how to build cool companies, cool software, and stuff like that. But then I also realized that as nice as it sounds, it's usually very theoretical. It's very inspirational, but the problem is all those things do not solve my problem once I start developing something by myself. Doesn't matter how motivated I am, at some point I have to do it. And maybe this is also something you can relate to, because we all have our goals, our plans, our targets, our deadlines, and we need to make sure we get the shit done, right? And yeah, that's why I just said to myself, hey Christian, why not making it as practical as possible and just start taking this YouTube video, for example, and share with you how I used it to not only share with you my basic structure, but also to break it down into the pieces that you can already reuse. And by the way, if you look into the video description or just on the YouTube timeline, you will see certain chapters, of course. And the way my videos start will always be the same. First, of course, I will quickly say hi to you with a eventually interesting hook or not. And then we will just jump right into the problem statement. And after that, I will move on to the solution intent or a draft on how I plan to solve a problem. And the way I do that is, before I start sharing my screen or show you something that I have built, I will always take a pen and paper and write stuff down. Because writing is thinking. And I believe that writing helps a lot, and spending time in thinking about a problem and how I want to solve it is much more valuable than executing it and trying to ship it first in the first place. So therefore, I believe that many times in the past, I could have saved a lot of time by spending more time on planning and sketching and talking and thinking about it, rather than jumping too fast on the solution. And with that said, to make it as practical as possible, we will now change the format quickly and I will show you how I write and how I sketch out my solution intents. So once I was sitting down and thinking about how I can structure my first video, I realized, okay, the basic way I always get started is with, as I explained, the problem statement. Sorry for my bad handwriting. I'm just trying to be as creative as possible. That's why I'm just writing things down as they come to my mind. No, I'm kidding. So the problem statement is the very first thing that I want to do. And I just realized, okay, it's nice to talk about practical things, but I want to make it as actionable and as practical as possible. So I just realized, okay, what I need is a structure. So therefore I was thinking, okay, what could be a good structure to get started and to share knowledge on, for example, YouTube, or also on other platforms where I'm sharing stuff, which is, for example, my podcast or my blog, which I will also link in the video description. So I just said, okay, I need an agenda. And the agenda needs to contain, first of all, an introduction by saying hi, the problem statement, and then I need to talk about the solution and how I'm building it. So, which you can see here right now. So that's the part we're doing right now, which is thinking about a solution. I mean, of course, I just did that. In the future, I will do this more spontaneously and building stuff or defining stuff on the fly. But that's a basic approach to me. And while I was building this, I just realized, okay, what I think is very cool is if I'm always using the same structure to work and to share knowledge, I can make this in quotes scalable by defining a basic structure that I can reuse for maybe all the videos, which doesn't mean it will be always fixed and it can change, but it gives me, it gives my projects already a good baseline that I can reuse for future products that I want to build, that I'm having anyway, but also for my YouTube videos. So I have the intro, I have the problem, I have the solution. That's the part that we're doing right now. And then after this is done, we will move on to the practical part. So the practical part will be the build part, which is the part where I, for example, screen share and show you how I build things and create some tutorials and work out things that I want to become a product or want to be designed, etc. And this is the part which will be usually cover the most time in my videos, where I really go step by step with you through automation processes to designing things and to building things. And here's the most important thing. After that, we're not done, because it's very important to, in my opinion, to give an outlook, right? So there is an outlook and a follow-up, or how people like to say it in business terms, there are next steps. And next steps can mean many things. So either there are steps that you can take if you want to rebuild what I am building, or stuff that I want to do, which means that stuff that will follow in the next videos, or it's generally an outlook on possibilities on how you could move on if you would want to follow. So that's what I want to do, and this is the basic structure. And last but not least, I always end my videos with a CTA, for example, telling you that I would highly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. And that's actually the point that covers the whole process of thinking about how I want to approach a solution and how I want to create a basic structure and baseline for my projects. And that brings us now, after we finished the solution part that I just mapped out here, brings us to the next steps. And by the way, we will not do this part here today, because I'm not going to show you how I record the video. But what I will do in the next videos is sharing with you my general roadmap and more. Talking about the outlook. In the next video, I will share with you the whole overview of the projects I'm working at right now and what I'm planning to do to make my life easier, and what kind of automations or eventually software as a service potentials I will build on a Miro screen. And I will go through with you step by step on what I want to build and what you can expect as next steps. And this will help you already to understand how a roadmap could look like and how you visualize your project landscape for your own projects and your own products you want to build. And with that said, I just want to tell you one more thing that I promised you, which is a call to action. And I would highly appreciate if you hit the subscribe button to show me that you're interested in my topic. And nevertheless, if you do this or not, next videos are on the way.